Hello viewers, welcome to your favorite program, Unusual Brief on Zim Papers Television Network. My name is Doc Vikela. Today on the show I have a very prominent guest presenter. Sean is away on sick leave. Today I have got the one and only Bhutisi. Ashinakurira. Bhutisi.
Yes, thank you, Doc Vikela.
Today on the show I've got Bhutisi, and you know when Bhutisi is around, it's going to be interesting. No, I see your Bhutisi angekapfekwa na president, vachinoona akazungula dem. No. The Bhutisi, the original.
The original. Yes.
The shoe. Was there anything wrong with that shoe before we go into the program?
Bhutisi angekanaga mdara. There are some places that they went to, you know, it needed safety.
Yeah, you went into the bus.
Yeah. When you are going to foreign lands, man, that will be prepared.
Yeah.
With the scarf as well. You know, you never know what happens.
Yeah, you never know. Okay, today on the show we have an interesting topic. We are talking about regalia, right? We're talking about what people wear, political party regalias. You know, locally we have ZANU-PF, MDC, MDCT, MDCM, many MDCs. We have got the national people. I don't know.
The recently formed one. Yeah.
You have got Zimfest, you've got South Africa, ANC, you've got Chama Pinduzi, Tanzania, you have DR Congo. All this. And these people, they wear regalia and face of their leaders. What do you think is a nice president? I mean,
you know, Vikela, I don't think it's something bad. Yeah, for real, because people have to know who is the leader here, especially when you come home. Idi himself, he has to be on the regalia.
Come on. No. Yeah. Do you know what that does? That breeds a culture of hero worshipping, of bootlicking, where we have dictators. Look at Kamuzu Banda. Look at Blaise Compaoré in Burkina Faso. Look at what's his name? Mobutu Sese Seko.
But you know what? My thinking is that, like, just look at Emerson Mnangagwa. He just got into office recently, and for 37 years we have known the man to be one.
Yeah,
Robert Mugabe. And he has been there. So we can talk of the people from the rural areas. Wanagobo, you know, they don't know the man, but like the face. They have to be introduced. They have to know who they are going to be voting for.
No, but in Zaka, each problem itori pa marigalia. Magara mjumeni sana wakapfeka hembe za munhu wani ka. Wanachaziva munhu wani. Anditi. Wanofana ofembra when he goes to meet the people, that's when they get to know him. My posters, but the issue of wearing one regalia, that's when you have got even his own politician saying, His Excellency, saying a wrong name. It's because of seeing the same face and the same name over and over again. I feel like it's a precedent that we need to cut off.
Yeah, I don't think it's because of the regalia. It's because he was on the throne for 37 years.
With his face on everyone's.
It was something that they dreamed of, that they saw each and every morning for 37 years. So you cannot erase that thing.
But I'm happy for one, because ZANU-PF has come out guns blazing saying, no, we are stopping this culture. We want to have a new dispensation where we wear timeless regalia.
But do you think it's a good idea, looking at the time that we are heading for?
I think they'll lose
the elections.
If they're not careful, they'll lose the election, because people are used to that. Yeah, I mean, we have to be frank. because people are used to that.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's something that we need to deal with in the long run, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, look at MDC, they begin personalizing a party, MDCT, MDCN, MDC. If you reach those proportions, then you have a problem.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, you know.
But we have our pastors, our popular pastors, you know them, the prophets. They are in our bedrooms. They are in our dinings. That's the first thing that you see when you wake up in the morning. Hey, Papa, our papas are everywhere in the toilet. You'll be on the seat looking at Papa.
They are learning from the best, because then they would want to stay there forever. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, moving right along.
Yes.
Talking about this issue, I think we will not divorce from the issue of social media, because it is on social media where these issues are dissected, discussed. But then on social media, we also have heroes and heroines, people who are glorified because of their presence on social media. So whatever that's happening today, for example, look at Gugu Changirai.
Yes.
Overnight, she was big. Look at Lamek. Overnight, she was big. Look at the boys from Battlefields. They were big. Look at Tejara in the shot at every event. all of a sudden she was big, he was big. What's your take on that?
Looking at the people who then further take it to social media, I think our country is so much creative minds. It's an industry that hasn't been looked at or funded.
But nevertheless, moving on, we are saying these people, they then take it to levels that we don't condone. Because I personally, I feel like we overdo it, personally, right?
All right, yeah.
When we then sensationalize them and make them heroes and make them, look at the nurse who took a picture with Morgan Tsvangirai. She later committed suicide because of the everything that came after. Are people abusing social media?
Yeah. I think to an extent, people are abusing. Look at you're talking of the nurse. The nurse was just in the picture. She's not the one who was holding the camera.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking.
Yeah. Lamek was not the one who was holding the video camera.
Yes.
Tsvangirai was not the one who was holding the video camera.
You see, so the person we have to talk about
the
is
people
the
behind the camera.
Yeah.
Because now they are creating a big problem where you over sensationalize something that was supposed to be probably for people who are just there.
Yeah.
Because Tsvangirai was saying, of course it was crazy and stuff, but it was funny.
Yeah,
but
she was being emotional.
Emotional, you know, exactly.
And
she didn't
she
mean
had
it
her reasons
to be like that.
Yeah.
So I think what then do we need to do to make sure that people don't abuse social media? Should we police it or we leave it like that? Should people ignore?
I think people should just know what to post. You know, like coming culture from where we come from as Africans, as Zimbabweans. You know, it's so wrong like to film anybody at a funeral. You know, the national, you know, the I feel what more taking a camera and filming it?
Like filming the person.
Even an accident. If there's an accident, people are too quick to take their phones out and take pictures. They want to be the first ones to put it on social media. You know, they want relevance. But the traffic will come to their pages that they are the source.
And then they've got a high number of followers. Then the corporates will then jump to them to run their. I mean, like it's a cheap shot at popularity.
Yeah. Just to add on, you know, at times when we laugh at things that we see on Facebook or on social media, at times we'll be laughing at ourselves. There's a popular writer, Anonzi Nikolai Gogol. He's a Russian writer. In his book, The Government Inspector, at the end of a play, people laugh. Then the guy on the stage who asks the people, "What are you laughing at?" And they are quiet. And he tells them that you are laughing at yourselves. So when we see those things that are being posted, that doesn't go hand in hand with our culture or where we come from, we'll be laughing at ourselves. You have a go-go, I have a go-go. When you laugh at go-go, Tsvangirai, we'll be laughing at ourselves.
Especially my go-go. She has told me that she's going to kill herself if I fail my O-level. I failed. She was going to kill herself if I don't marry by 23. She didn't kill herself. She said that she's going to kill herself if I don't buy a car. She's still alive. I mean, it's been a decade. Okay, viewers, we're going to go for a short break. When you come back, we'll be guns blazing with Bhutisi. You know him. I think you know me by now. Catch you after the break. Welcome back to your show, The Unusual Brief, and we are still here with Bhutisi, the main man, the man himself.
And Doc Vikela.
Okay, so before we went for the break, we talked about the issue of party regalia, we talked about social media, and you know, I mean, it's only proper for us to even talk, get deeper into this because the politics of our lives revolve around social media and the parties that
we just forgot to talk about the scarf when we were talking about the regalia.
Exactly. We want to talk about the issue of people who fall on hard times after they leave what they call the political safe haven. You see, especially we have seen this with people who have left ZANU-PF, who have either been dumped by ZANU-PF, fired from ZANU-PF, or we have probably lost an election and then they become civilians. They become just a general folk. I mean, what's your take on that? I'll give you examples before you get to answer. You have Didmas Mtasa.
All right.
You have your Undenge. You have the list is endless. I mean, of the guys who were on top, but suddenly when you see them, is it because they couldn't steal well, or it's because their jobs were not paid? What do you attribute it to?
Maybe before I answer, is it only about ZANU-PF? What about MDC? There are also those guys who also.
Oh yeah, the ones who are, and now they're desperate to form an alliance with them because they are headless chicken.
You know what I think? There should be a difference between a person who is still at work, who is still employed, and someone who is no longer at work. Yeah, sure. Because when you are no longer at work, there's no way you are getting the money. so you should hit it hard times. You should feel the coldness of being outside.
So that acts as your motivation.
Yeah.
You are saying that. There should be a difference. Nanosenza nasingasenza.
Yes.
Chaira ma streets because in those kwazinoitwa.
Yes.
Kana uchisenza, you should look the part, right?
Yes.
And I mean, like, but come on, you have people like the former president. I mean, he was once a head of state. Now other coins and stuff. Anofana ungompongo kuti angoonekera munhu. Asina plan anditi. But he create a plan kuti asangozoshoreka kunyanya.
Yeah. That's true. I think the guys had a plan for him. Maybe with the recent forming of his new party,
baby,
maybe it's the thing that making the
moment he forms that party, he becomes an opposition, so he can't be killed.
Yes.
I know.
He becomes a memberless a memberless member.
Yeah.
A cardless member.
Yeah. Because I always had this maybe it's a conception or misconception that it's cold outside a political party. Especially we have witnessed, because ZANU-PF has been the part that is in our faces. Okay, and the MDC, yes, people have been fired from the MDC, and then they'll rejoin ZANU-PF. Then but most importantly, people in ZANU-PF, the members, they have been revolutionaries. The only job they have enjoyed is that of running for office and then probably get a ministerial job, if not just be an MP and sleep in parliament. I mean, do you really think the country should let them go down that road?
I don't think so.
People who have fought for the liberation of this country, and Amtasa, and Gumbo and stuff.
Yeah, their legacy should not just go like that. They've got other things to learn from them. Because when they let them go and they're out there, they will start like bad mouthing what was happening when they were inside. It usually happens.
Yeah, true.
When they are suffering out there, they come and and
so what is your proposal? Your proposed solution? How can we avoid the issue of these guys that suffer? Should they be financial managers to teach them how to invest? What needs to be done? Because I
think that's where NASA comes into play. They should be given their paycheck. Like our former president. I don't know. They should make a plan. It's a big party.
That's a solution.
It's a big party.
So it's a call out to them.
Yes, it's a big party.
Okay, there you have it, viewers. We're going to go for a short break. When we come back, we're going to have a guest who's going to give us an expert opinion on what we've been discussing in the program. And today I was with the one and only Bhutisi.
Yes,
Baba. Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure being here with you.
See you after the break.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. Hello viewers, welcome to your show, The Unusual Brief, where we brief you about unusual things happening around us. Today on the show, we have an interesting guest, someone who stands for something, someone who's unique in a particular way. Today on the show, I've got the former Deputy Minister of Information, former MP for Mondoro Ngezi. He's also a doctor, and he was also part of the movement that made sure that we don't have a monarchy, we don't have a continuation of something that was going to continue, and you are fed up. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Doc.
How are you?
I can't complain that much.
I can see even the way you're looking good, man.
Well, I'm trying to, but hey, because I'm talking to the doctor, so I had to come.
Precisely. And the good doctor here is one person who is passionate about what he does, and he's also an avid member of ZANU-PF. So today on the show, I've got things that we were discussing earlier on that I want to run by you and ask you what you think about them. There's an issue of regalia. When I talk of regalia, I mean party regalia, where party members they wear people per se. Women's League wearing faces of leaders on there, and then dancing, and stuff, and that then breeds into something else. What are your thoughts on that culture as a whole?
Well, it is a good culture. It's an advert. Who is it that you're advertising for? Now we're going for elections. Who is our president? We had a president for not 37 years. We had the prime minister. He was prime minister for the first 7 years, then became a president up until the November 16th
revolution.
The revolution that we were part of. So you're advertising. I think now people are smarter. They saying, hey, we can get rid of you if you get out of the way. I mean, we can get rid of you if you try to to abuse people. So, you can take it in different contexts. But everywhere where you go, you need to, the person has to be known. They have to see the face. Majority of our supporters are in the villages. They want to see this president,
the face of the revolution, the face of the movement. Who is it that you're going to vote for?
Yes.
But now, doesn't that breed now a problem? Because I'll give you examples. Yes. We had Kamuzu Banda, we had Robert Mugabe, we had Mobutu Sese Seko, we have Paul Biya in Cameroon, we had so many African leaders who were there for a long time. Don't you feel like we've got Blaise Compaoré from Senegal, from Burkina Faso? Don't you feel like you have a situation where now you're breeding these guys, because by the moment you put them on your board, and then they feel like they are indispensable?
I don't know whether you watched another channel, CNN. I have to mention that. Donald Trump, when he was addressing his supporters, you've got these Donald Trump caps. He's got hotels. You've got this proudly American, America first. So it's everywhere. When you go for elections, if you go to Russia, it's the same thing.
So it's unfounded, and it's people who just have an agenda who then castigate that it's a wrong precedence. And
yes, in our case, we had a constitution, unlimited terms for a head of state, and then we changed that constitution. But we had a very smart, very cunning president. We believed what he was doing. So it becomes a cult, because we'd known one leader, one executive leader, or for 37 years, which is now 94, and he still wants to come back. So really, it was Mugabe from before the war. We gained independence in 1980, and everyone was like pushing and pulling from towards one direction, that we have to claim our resources, and he was a champion, he's an African champion, third world champion, and the world believed him. And in the end,
we all believed him.
We all believed him, and until some of us said, "Hey,
enough is enough.
Enough is enough."
So now that culture of regalia, so to speak, then you see another issue where political parties have got acronyms of probably the leader. You have a situation where political parties then they becoming a property, a personal property. This is an African problem. What do you think that these things are intertwined? Do you think that there is an effect of having probably when a person is on this wave? Let's have this regalia probably let's have a standard regalia towards elections, maybe here or there, because this now might stop the problem of having a political party now being personalized, becoming for example, no names being dropped. You've got MDCN, MDC, and then do you think that's good for African politics per se?
It is. I think the issue is not about the regalia. The issue is about abuse of power.
Oh, okay.
Now the challenge that any future leader or the current president Mnangagwa is going to have is that people now can question things. People can challenge things. People can say no because they've tasted freedom. I know people have been talking about, public television or radio or newspapers just focusing on one political party. But you can have on Facebook live recording, you can have your own television station. So people can freely express themselves, and they say enough is enough. And I think in ZANU-PF, again, that is the standard. You go to the villages. Mondoro is a communal constituency. People speak their mind. They're saying, hey, we cannot have the same mistake again
that we had
that we had before, where you have there's nothing wrong. where you have the wife, then the son, then there's everyone. People are saying, no, I think we've heard that before. And
you end up someone putting a donkey and say, this is the Minister of Labor. I mean...
Exactly. So it's about abuse. Right now in Zimbabwe, we've got a big challenge, a reputational challenge, where sometimes we are not consistent in the things that we do. So as ZANU-PF, as ZANU-PF has got the president, he has to be seen to be consistent. He has to be seen not to be changing things. And trust is very important. There was no trust. You know, this is 38 years of independence. The first 20 years were very good, but after say 2000, things just got haywire. It was a slippery slope, and we were really going. So people don't want to go back to that process again. So we need to be trusted by the world.
We need to be trusted by the world. We can still go on, and I've got so many questions to ask you. There is an issue also that the issue of social media. Social media has been opened, as you said. People are free to go on social media. But there's one trend that's happening on social media, that of creating heroes and villains and heroines. People are becoming overnight superstars. I just want your comment on that. Like you have the issue of the Tejara with the short, then you've got Lamek at the funeral. Give me 48 hours. It starts getting
and
Gogutangrai. And then she was eating a banana like someone who wants to live for 40 years. Well, what is your comment on that phenomenon?
This is the joys about democracy. You know that you express yourself without fear of harassment, intimidation, and people. It's the richness that we have. You know, we're a highly educated society, so they say. So people are coming up with all crazy things because they are free to express themselves. Because they've been, you can say things out of So the issue of Gogotangrai and all these others, it's a shame that this doesn't come with money. If it was in the first world,
people would be rolling right now.
Even Gogo.
Yeah.
You invite. She gets to do adverts, and she gets paid a lot of money. So is Koma Lamek. That was revolutionary. That was amazing. That was crazy. Mabvuk was put. Is it Mabvuk or Tafara?
Mabvuk Tafara is the same thing.
That was put on the world map. But it also got people thinking to say, hey, if you don't abuse people's kids.
Oh yeah, true.
And anything can happen. And the issue of abuse, that's what happened with our president, former president.
He's still on the abuse.
Yes, abuse because what goes around comes around.
Talking about what goes around comes around, I have a question. I know it will hit home, but anyway, this is the unusual brief. We unusually brief people on things that happen around us. There's a phenomenon that we have been witnessing where people, when they leave ZANU-PF, especially when they leave ZANU-PF unceremoniously, they tend to change in terms of lifestyle. I'll give you examples. We did Masamtasa. He was high flying, untouchable. When he fell by the wayside, we had stories. We have what's his name?
Robert Mugabe.
I was going to come to it. Yeah, like he used to get cash, and then but is it that bad to be outside of power, or are these people? Do they fail to plan when they are still in power?
Look at me, I'm struggling. When I'm a former minister, so look at me. Life is bad out there.
No, for you, I think. Yeah.
No, it's we can't just lump everything together. If you look at the generation of Wanam Tasa, Nargaragumbo, they're just revolutionaries. They worked for the party, for the country. They were not commercially minded. It was politics. Changa chiri chini chedu, our parties, ZANU-PF yedu, from school, to the struggle. They suffered big time. Suffering to bring independence. There was nothing commercial. It was sacrifice. When you go to war, there was no salary. There was no allowance. There was nothing. You just said, I'm going to die, and I die for my country as long as there is independence. So those guys are not commercial minded. Even issue of corruption. Apana corruption, those guys. They're just working for their party. And the former president was very smart. He made sure that, you were so brainwashed that Israel really, but he was busy also. He's got 22 farms, so he had
patronage system of some sort.
Patronage, If you kabuda line talk to the And you see what happened to Ditmas.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
He didn't have much, really. He was just, we came from a socialist, communist perspective, where you're working for the party, you're working for the country, not for yourself. Remember, up to, I think, was it 87? You were not allowed to have a business.
Yeah, you were not. Yeah,
You were not.
Yeah,
it was illegal. But Edison bought hotels. But you were smart. Yeah. So is that generation where they are not business minded, they had nothing, they had a house, they've got a farm, they're content with that. And when I was you have your whiskey, and they were happy. And our system did not allow. There was no room for to go commercial. That's another problem. Okay. But for the other young generation, look, I know this. I don't know about rounding. That's what he's saying. And we have to
say he doesn't have money to commute every day, and I mean, we thought energy minister, all those Intratech.
He's going to court now. 12,000, and but it's I can't put everything into one basket. It was the system.
You heard it for yourselves. I don't know how to describe this. I'm astounded. I'm astonished. I'm everything that is wow in the dictionary. This has been a brilliant interview with my good comrade, my doctor, my personal friend, who I know that is going to be in Parliament come August 2018.
Oh, thank you. Is that a prophecy?
It's a prophecy. Comrade Brother Matonga, thank you so much for gracing us. But before you go, this show is called Unusual Brief. Yeah. We want our guests to be in touch with the people. We want you to do something unusual that you don't do normally, just for the viewers. Show them what you have. An unusual gesture.
Unusual gesture?
Yeah.
Are you... I like fashion.
Yeah.
Look at the way I'm dressed.
Okay, he likes fashion, and that's the unusual thing.
It is unusual.
Oh, okay.
What I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. There you go, viewers. Bye bye.